Welcome to Comfort Havoc number 2. I remember one of the two videos that we were supposed to do that I forgot. So we're going to give you that. This might be a doozy, so sit back, relax, and I apologize profusely. I know I have addressed this before. I'm going to address this again. So once again, I am sorry. If you don't know by now, I am part Native American. I am also part black. I am also part white. And I want to address these issues that we are having on TikTok, and some of them actually have dragged ass over here to YouTube. But see, when they get off this app, they can go back to being black. I will never not be mixed. All right? I will never, ever, ever not be mixed. Us mixed people, I'm 50, and I've never had a support group, ever, without other mixed people. All right? When I go and apply for a job and I write down black, you don't have many times people have looked at me and asked me if I was insane. Like, yo, you're black? It's like, well, my birth certificate says I'm black. So there's been a lot of things that we would like to address because reclassification is a thing. However, I was never reclassified as black. My birth certificate classified me as black from day one. Because back in 1973, no one has other on their birth certificate that I am legally or physically aware of. So, that being said, I write down black on every application. I don't scratch that shit out. I don't put other. And if they ask me, I tell them, I am part native, but I'm also part black, but I'm also part white. So technically, I'm not Afro-Indigenous. I am a hybrid amalgamation of three races: native, black, and white. All right? And I do need to get my genealogy done. I do need to get my reconnecting journey started over again because the shit that's going on TikTok has made me just put everything on hold. I do have a lady down in Charles City that's looking for information for me. She hasn't gotten back to me yet, but I will reach out to her probably before Thanksgiving. Hopefully I'll have my money and shit straight by then. People who owe me money will start bringing stuff in. I did finish chapter 3 tonight of my book called Showdown. I will be trying to get chapter 3 printed out so I can give a copy to my teacher and have a copy for myself, so that that way I'll be able to take notes, read, and begin chapter 4. I've decided that I'm probably going to stop at chapter 5 and just make chapter 4 and chapter 5 super long chapters. And that way it can stop, and then I can put the cast list. I can just copy and paste it at the end of the book. And as a non-professional writer, but an actor, I want to make sure everybody knows that my books always have writer's notes, except for Love 13, because I didn't know if I should ever do writer's notes. And then when I started American Code of Reach, I was like, you know what? I'm going to write writer's notes. And people were like, going to be, what the fuck is a writer's note? So I'll tell you, a writer's note is where the writer himself lets you know what the fuck's going on in his head and why he did this, this, and this in that chapter. So throughout the chapters in Sundown, there are some writer's notes. In chapter 1, there's a few. In chapter 2, there's a few. In chapter 3, there's a few. Even in chapter 3, it even tells you that chapter 3 stops on page 255. 256 has the writer's notes. Okay? So, therefore, now, let's get back on this native thing. TikTok is going ballistic with this bullshit. Alright? And it's like the more you try to avoid it, the more there is. There's more people. All of a sudden, now you're not just thinking about Anunnaki or Ishnabe or whatever other title they're taking, and gods and demons and dragons and all kinds of shit. When I get off this app, when I get off of YouTube, when I get off of TikTok, when I get off of Instagram, I'm still mixed. I'm still going to bump into people who ask me, what are you mixed with? And when I say I'm part black, they were like, no. What else are you mixed with? And I say, oh, yeah, I'm also part Native American. Now, I will tell you this as a mixed person. All of this shit happens on a case-by-case depending on who you encounter. So always remember that if you are mixed or if you're having mixed children, it will always be a case by case scenario depending on who you encounter. When it comes to black people, I'm often asked, what am I mixed with? And when I say part black, they're the ones who say, no, we pretty much know that. When it comes to certain Asian people, it's the same thing. We pretty much know that you're part black. What else are you mixed with? Then I got to go into stories. And if I say the word Indian, then I hear feathers or dots, and I say, well, I'm the guys with the feathers, not the guys with the dots. Not that there's anything wrong with being with Indians with the dots. So I'm just not those guys. Anyway, when I meet certain white people, they're like, what do you mix with? I was like, oh, well, I'm part white, part black, part native. It's like, okay. So I've been learning a lot from a lot of the natives on TikTok. And I thank them. And I'm accepted by some. I'm not accepted by all. And that can be said on any fucking app. And, you know, we were told Cherokee, so I go with that. But I'm also now doing research because my grandmother on my father's side might not be Cherokee. She might be Chickahominy. So I'm doing that. And my whole goal with the end game of this is not to be enrolled unless they let me keep the name Echo Fang Grey Wolf and they honor that. Where I would love to be enrolled, but I can live with it without it. But the only way I would ever be enrolled is if they let me keep my native name that I gave myself. Now, I only really want a paper of descendancy. That's it. I will be fine with proving the fact that I'm part native. Nothing else would make me better than just to say, okay, you have at least one native ancestor. Period. And it's a great grandmother. I'm happy with that because then I don't have to deal with this shit and I could post it on here and I could post it on fucking TikTok and Instagram. Not that it fucking matters because no matter what that paper of descendancy says, they're probably still gonna say I'm a fucking pretendian. So fuck it. But if I have it, at least I'll have it. No, I'm gonna have to go let that dog out when I start the next video or before I start the next video. Anyway, I am tired of my black side trying to erase my Native American side. And it is getting to the point now where if I could reach through the cell phone and unalive people, that would be done. That being said, this is going to have a part two because people are fucking up and so is this dog. Thank you very much.